All right, good morning, everyone. My name is Glen Eaton from DrewTech. We're based in Ann Arbor, Michigan. We've been in existence since 1996, primarily doing engineering type work in the standards SAE J2534 as well as RP1210. We provide OE and aftermarket equipment for mainly programming and diagnostics now, but we are getting into the collision industry, which you'll see here shortly. We have a strong emphasis on support. Not sure how many people have experienced our support in this room, but certainly on the internet, on forums and so forth, you will see quite high accolades with our technical support that we give to our customers. We expanded in 2015. Opus Inspection out of Sweden purchased us. We are a separate entity from them, and they concentrate on their inspection side, and we take care of the automotive programming diagnostics in the United States as well as globally. You can see some of the statistics there of different things that they do, and we also support them. We actually build quite a bit of their equipment for their inspection stations across the country in the United States and other countries, as you see there. We have two main product offerings. We have the do-it-yourself type product, as you see in our Cardac, our Mongoose for the automotive sectors. For the heavy duty, we have a newer version of the DrewLink, which is based off the RP1210 specification. We have the emissions equipment, the I Am Clean and I Am Ready. And we also have engineering specific equipment for analysis, and we can also do custom solutions for that market as well. It's basically all protocol based, so whatever you need in that regard, we have the solutions for that. And then we have the do-it-for-me side that we recently started. So we have the Wrap Flash, which is your programming side of things, and then we have the Wrap Crash, which is the collision side with the pre and post scanning capabilities. Just a couple slides of some notable notes. Mike Drew, Drew Technologies, you can imagine he's the founder of the company. He was key in developing and assisting in developing the SAE J2534 specification, a standard certainly which has become not only US based, but now it's a global standard that reaches everywhere. Okay, we also have some participants in various standards for SAE as well as TMC. You can see some of the names there. Brian Herron, president of our company. Mark Wine, he's the vice president of our engineering. Gus Nasser, the engineering person there, as well as myself and my cohort in crime, Ken DeGrant. He's on the truck side, I'm on the automotive side. Some more notable notes there in regards to OE tool acceptance. Okay, we've worked with all these. We've worked with every manufacturer, but these ones, just a notable note. GM, for example, we've worked with them for quite a number of years, 20 it says, and they gained so much confidence on our capabilities, our standard abilities, that we actually helped them develop their first diagnostic tool when the Right to Repair Act came out. And GM dealerships basically have our Mongoose Pro for the GM version, as well as other tools in their dealerships, as well as at their different wholesalers, and so on. Toyota, another big manufacturer, obviously. We work with them in their original TechStream software for programming and diagnostics, helping them validate their software using our equipment. And basically at this point, we are an essential tool for them. So if you go onto their website, you'll see that. And we basically sold over 20,000 of these Mongoose cables globally to their dealerships. Jaguar, they validated and approved our Mongoose cable for them as well. Now the Mongoose cables, if you're not familiar, those are OEM specific, whereas the Cardac tools are all makes, all models. So we made these tools specifically for the OEMs as an inexpensive entry point for use in their dealerships. And of course, they're available to the aftermarket as well. But Jaguar and Land Rover, we released over 4,000 tools to their dealerships as well. Honda, same thing. We launched it to the Honda dealerships recently, and they currently use it today. And then Nissan, we released the Mongoose for the Nissan in Japan quite a while ago as well.
I think you should specify that this is U.S., not Canadian. Ivana Canada does not support the Mongoose cable.
Yes, this is, sorry, thank you. This is US, so anything that's obviously not supported in Canada, it's not supported in Canada. But nonetheless, that will happen, I believe, over time. Certainly everything's moving outside the US as far as the standards go. And eventually, it should get into the Canada market as well. But this is just kind of an idea as some of the OE relationships that we have built and developed over the years. All right, what we're all here to hear about, the remote assist program. You see the kit on the table in the front here. Basically, it's a self-contained kit. There's no loose parts. It's got the SAE J2534 compliant device built inside. It's got the touchscreen Windows-based tablet. Now J2534 says it has to be Windows, so we got the Windows tablet. We actually include the OEM subscriptions as well, so there's no need to worry about where do I go to buy the subscription, how do I install it, how do I then use it, that sort of thing. There's a battery maintainer inside as well. The kit, well, you can see it on the picture here, but on the right-hand side, you got a couple studs there for the positive, negative. Battery maintenance is very important when it comes to not only programming, but also scanning as well. So we get the battery maintainer in there, to maintain the battery levels. Wi-Fi. Now in the States we use Verizon, so there is a Verizon wireless card in there as well, but cost issues coming up to Canada with the Verizon is not acceptable. So we do require that the shops have Wi-Fi. If the Wi-Fi is not working 100%, we do have an adapter that we can plug into the wrap kit where they can hardwire their cable into that as well. So you have strong internet connections at that point. Of course, there's a power cable to power the kit in general, and then also the OBD J1962 connector for the vehicle. The system is pay per use, okay, and it's supported by our growing ASE certified technicians here in Ann Arbor. We're actually expanding that so much so where we're actually moving into a different building. We're adding a different building to accommodate that growth. And we also have several patents pending on this system as well. So again, quickly, we kind of mentioned all the different components, just pointing at them. The quick start guide on the lid you see there, pretty simple, don't really have to do anything except, as it says, plug in the kit, give us a call, and we do the rest. Okay, you don't really need the master tech or the high-end person manning this kit. We've had oil changers on the programming side. We've had other less qualified people doing it. We even had secretaries and writers, the service writers do this as well. So it's that simple. All right, so product growth. As I mentioned, we had the Wrap Flash first. We launched that back in September of 16. We have partners that we've grown with. General Motors is on board with this. You'll see some, if you look in magazines or go to a GM wholesaler, you will see advertisements of our wrap kit with GM. Transtar Industries, another big company in the States. I think King-O-Matic is the equivalent here in Canada. But they are also on board with this programming as well. We won the Motor Top 20 Award in 2016, so that's kind of a prestigious award that we like to tout. And even though we've just started in September, we've already got over 1,000 cars flashed with this system. And you consider it really didn't start in September, because it takes time to ship the units out and then people to remember to use them or to use them. So that those 1,000 flashes really came in a much shorter amount of time. So we're excited about that, and it is certainly growing. So wrap crash. Okay, we heard the industry and we saw that this was coming down the road. So we've decided to get into the pre and post scanning as well. Similar concept as the wrap flash, plug it in, give us a call, and we'll do the rest. We basically look to launch it in September of this year, hopefully sooner, third quarter or so. And we've been pilot testing since the beginning of the year in some manufacturers and been quite successful. So, there's some things that we need to, obviously work through to get the whole program solidified and established, but we're moving along pretty quickly. Another prestigious award at the SEMA show last year. We won the 2017 New Products Show for the collision market, and we're certainly proud of that as well. All right, so a quick video. I'm not sure how you start this. Oh, there we go. It's not working. Well, we'll skip that then. It's on our website if you want to see the video. All right, so features and benefits. Now, I'm mainly speaking about our Flash program, but again, it's very similar in nature as far as the plug it in and that sort of thing. So some of these notes here are specific to the programming side of things, but currently we're supporting GM, Ford, Chrysler, Toyota, Honda, and Nissan for the programming side. You can expect similar manufacturers when it comes to the collision side and the pre and post scanning requirements. Consider this, that we are using OEM software that they've released to the aftermarket. So some of the manufacturers have not released their diagnostic capabilities as well. Yes?
If I could ask for a definition here from a non-technical point of view, because I myself view Flash as what the tuner guys do when they're messing with their horsepower. So
Okay.
just, how are you using that term in this context?
Okay, good
As opposed to
question.
Diagnostics and flashing.
Right, good question, thank you. Yeah, we are not tuners. Okay, we do not, we don't have a position on it, but we are not tuners. So when I talk about Flash reprogramming, I'm talking about taking the newer updated calibrations from the manufacturer and updating them on the vehicle to the current level. Okay, it's going from level A to level B. There's improvements, there's fixes. This is a whole nother presentation, but there's other things that they've changed on the calibration side in the different modules, whether it be powertrain or body control. There's just lots of updates that are happening. Vehicles today, you can't get a car without a dozen computers on them and sensors and modules and all this other stuff. So you can't take a screwdriver or a wrench to fix a lot of these things. So you need to actually do a programming event to bring them up to whatever electronic fixes they've put in place, and then you program them into the module. I hope that answered your question.
Thank you.
Okay. So in these kits, basically the heart and the soul, if you will, of the kit is the J2534 device. That is what allows all the different types of communications protocol, systems-wise from the various OEMs to pass through and onto the vehicle. So we're communicating to the vehicle basically through this J2534 device. Okay, I mentioned the OEM software is already on the devices, so you don't have to worry about purchasing them, how to install them, then how to learn and understand how to use them and so forth. We've got the Windows tablet. A lot of times when we sell our DIYer equipment, people are like, okay, great, I have the tool now, what PC do I need? So we take that out of the equation with this wrap kit. I mentioned the internet connection with the Wi-Fi in Canada, actually international at this point. We're using Wi-Fi. The battery maintainer, it is a 30 amp battery maintainer, so we don't have support for the German manufacturers, for example. They require a 90 amp battery maintainer, so we know that's an issue, and we are working on that for expansion purposes. Of course, we've got the cable connections, we've got our certified technicians, and basically, if you saw the video, when you're done using the kit, you basically just pack it back up again and wait for the next time you need it. And probably one of the biggest things that really separates our equipment from the rest is the guarantee. So if something goes wrong in a programming event and or a scan event, we will correct, we'll make the corrections needed to get that vehicle up and running again, or whatever the case may be. So, nothing's perfect. So we've had a couple situations where, for whatever reason, somebody tripped over the cable or, didn't follow the procedure, and the car did, get basically bricked, they say, the module failed. So we did take steps to, send the car to the dealer, get the vehicle repaired. We paid the check, and that's our guarantee. So that's pretty big. On the wrap crash side, of course, we've got the pre and the post vehicle scan detail. So again, this is coming right from the OEM software. We're able to scan the vehicle. We can print the report. We can email it to you at that time. We can do DTC code clearing, and then everything is pay per scan. Okay, so we'll see that in here in a second, what that exactly means. Okay, on the ECUs, on the flash side, it's the ECU programming, ECM, BCM. Also included by some manufacturers is the ability to do airbags, safety restraint systems, key programming, and so forth, without the need for, if you guys are familiar with the license requirements that are put on by NASTF, National Automotive Safety Task Force. We can do that with this device as well. All right. So our simple instructions, this is a little bit lengthy, but it's on the top of the kit there. Basically, like I said before, you plug it in, you power on the tablet, you go through a couple screens on that tablet, and then give us a call. We take care of the rest. Okay, we're trying to take all the potential confusions and issues that customers have today out of the equation and do all the work for you. All right, so the wrap process in general, to acquire a kit, to actually use the kit. Okay, basically we have a wrap agreement form that needs to be filled out. It's got terms, conditions, of course your user information. We'll take a credit card as well, because that's the credit card we're going to charge for the services. Okay, and then we ship you the kit. Okay, once you install the kit, get ready for the scan, okay, or the programming event. Just follow the instructions on the screen and then basically give us a call. Okay, we got the 844 reflash phone number that you can dial into. Our ASE certified support technicians at that point will answer the phone, ask you exactly what you want to do, what we're connected to the vehicle for, and then we'll take care of that process for you. Okay, for the flash, it's obviously for the programming side. For the scan, it's the pre and post, and then as well as the report that gets emailed to you.
Glen, do you have
Yes.
a call center with staff on board? How does it work? When somebody calls in to do that,
Yes.
is there like 20 people, 5 people, wait time? How does that work?
Yeah, so when you call in, a live person will answer the phone. Okay, of course, there's peak times that we're experiencing today, that are, overwhelm our staff. Okay, we have 10 tech supports. At the beginning of, actually at the middle of last year, we had 3. Now we've added 7 more, so this is obviously a big, cost for us. But we are doing that. So if we can't take your call right away, we'll tell you when we're going to call you back. Okay, you can actually pre-schedule if you'd like. You can actually, call the day before and say, hey, I'm going to, have this car in that we're going to connect to at 10 o'clock. And then we'll call you back, at that 10 o'clock. But most of the time, we are getting the callers directly to the technician staff that we have. And these technicians, I mentioned a couple times, they are ASE certified, but they are also former dealer technicians. So the technicians that we have are not just certified, as the ASE, but they've also got a complete vehicle experience for the makes that we support. So they've got a more of a bumper-to-bumper type of understanding and knowledge of those vehicles. So once the job is complete, pack the kit up and then get ready for the next time. Okay, so the charges for what we do are per service, okay, per flash, per scan. Okay, because we haven't released the scan officially yet, we haven't come up with a price yet, but I can guarantee you it will be very competitive. Okay, for the flash service, it is $125 per flash. Now, keep in mind in the collision industry, flash is also important. Okay, if you've got a side impact, situation where it basically blew out the door, that door, especially in today's vehicles, have modules in those doors. And you can't just simply take a new door and hook it up again and then expect it to work. You've got to do a relearn procedure, you've got to do a programming event. So this equipment can do that as well. Okay, sensors, you name it, ABS, airbags we mentioned earlier. This device can take care of those situations as well. So on the programming side, it would be the 125 for those situations, and we haven't come up with a price yet for scan, but again, it will be very competitive. All right, so costs in general. Okay, there is no cost to the kit. Okay, we have to, in order to abide by the OEM terms and conditions that they put on people that use the programming equipment and their softwares, we have to own the equipment. So the OEM subscriptions, the J-Box, the PC, we own all of that information. Okay, so it is a per service or even a rental type program. Mentioned the 125 for the programming, the scanning will be competitive. There is a per month fee. Okay, now on the programming side, okay, we have a $19.95 service fee per month if you don't do at least 2 programming events. Now, personally, I think that's easy to do. Some shops may be a little bit still hesitant or not know exactly how to promote and upsell that opportunity, but that is achievable. And certainly the $20, $19.95 is not breaking the bank either. So we do have that service charge for the flash side. Again, we haven't done that for the flash or for the scan side, but there will be something similar. It may be the same price. Actually, it probably will be, but maybe we say there has to be, 20 scans or 30 scans or something like that. And in the collision industry, as you guys know, that should be pretty quick and pretty easy to achieve. All right, so key shop benefits for using WRAP. Certainly the economic benefits on both sides, flash and scan. Okay, enables the shop to complete the job and eliminates turning down some work. Okay, so you don't have to send it to a dealer. You don't necessarily have to call it a mobile guy. Okay, you can do it all yourself with this particular kit and our support. As far as the profitability and job timing, okay, the vehicle, there's no towing necessarily to the dealership, which is, happens quite a bit. There's no waiting, better customer satisfaction at that point. As far as the revenue increase, each module that is programmed, there's the wrap cost, plus the margin that you may build into it. We charge you $125, maybe you want to charge, $175. You can add some margin in there, and it's passed on to the customer. Okay, diagnostic technician time. I briefly mentioned it earlier. You've got valuable technicians that are doing specific jobs to make you more money. Okay, you don't want them necessarily sitting, waiting for a flash reprogramming event or even doing a scan. Okay, you can have another technician or the service writer or your kids, that come in. Anybody can do this. I mean, if they can turn the ignition key on and off, okay, basically that's the limitation of the requirements needed to do this WRAP program. So you can keep your higher paid technicians, doing the things that they do best, and that certainly would be making you money. Okay, again, there's no specialized tools or training that's required. I can't express how simple it is. Take the kit, plug it in, and give us a call, and that's all you need to do. It's really that simple. And that's all I have. Any questions?
During a scan, if you do need a flash, would that be another charge to it, like a double charge?
We haven't determined that yet. It could be, maybe a lesser charge, but we haven't determined that yet. But that's a good question. It's something that we're considering.
For your hours of operation, are you guys focusing on throughout Canada and the US? What are the hours?
Yeah, our current support hours are 8:30 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, we know that we have some customers that operate on Saturdays, on the weekends. We understand the West Coast is potentially an issue as well. We are highly aware of that, and we are working towards that. Bilingual, I'll mention that while we're on that topic. Bilingual technical support is also a concern of ours. Right now, it's English only, but we do know, obviously Spanish, French. Those are two of the top ones that we want to expand upon as well. So I was talking to our tech support manager, and he's actively looking for those types of people in the tech support world. Yes.
So I'm not a technical guy also, but the reflashing, say we plug into the car for it, we're gonna scan it, a crash scan. You're saying there's updates to these modules and as per the manufacturer.
Mm-hmm.
Will your tool tell us there's updates available so we can go back to the customer and say, there's some updates we could do them now?
Right. Oh, by the way, there's updates in it as well in your car?
Yes.
Yeah. We can do that. Right now, on the mechanical side, technicians can kind of figure that out on their own using different all data and so on to see what's available out there. But we do charge. It's a service, right? So right now, if you don't know if the vehicle needs an update on the flash side, then we're going to charge you $40 to check. Now, if that vehicle does have an update and you go ahead and want to do that update anyway, we'll waive that $40 and we'll just charge the $125. Yes.
Go back to, we'll continue on definitions again, and because you're dealing with a whole bunch of crash people here, in our industry, we tend to not pay much attention to the term flash, but we get a big kick out of code clearing.
Mm-hmm.
So you could maybe work those two terms together?
So when you do a flash reprogramming event, sometimes a code will be set. Okay, so the engine light will pop up on your dash. Most OEMs actually have the post-programming clearing of those codes built into their software. Okay, so for GM, for example, you go through and do the programming event. Sometimes a code is set, but they do have a DTC, diagnostic trouble code clearing option there on their software. If not, if the OEM doesn't have that functionality, we do have that in our software, so we can do that clearing as well. On the programming side, again, we take care of the programming, but a lot of times there's post-programming things that need to be done as well, like the code clearing, but there's also some resets of some other things on the vehicle, some other steps that need to happen, and we can take care of that as well. The only thing that we can't take care of at a post-programming event is a drive cycle. So we would indicate to you that you need to take the car for a drive cycle test. Yes?
The fee structure, Canadian or US dollars?
It is US right now, so all the dollars that I mentioned are US. Right now, we've got some customers here in Canada that are taking care of that conversion themselves. So, but we can certainly address that if that's a particular concern. Yes?
Does this unit give you a date that when vehicle comes in, we scan the vehicle, has some codes on it? Will it date when this code, actually was the date of the accident, or was it 2 months prior to the accident?
It depends. I believe, and you actually may know better than me from all data, but on some of the codes, newer codes, like revisions in the J1978, 1979 specifications, I believe they are being dated now. But so older codes, I'm not 100% sure. Somebody else here might know a little bit more about that, but I do not know that 100%. But as far as like when we generate the report, if that information is available, that will be provided, absolutely.
So you don't know if it's on the report at this point?
We haven't developed a report
Oh,
yet,
I
so.
see. Okay.
Because we're being asked quite often if the DTCs
Sure.
are new or older.
Right, that makes
Whether
sense.
they're relevant to the loss.
Right. Yeah, it's good, yeah, John.
Yeah, thank you. When we had a chat at Northeast Show a couple of weeks ago, you had identified that you only have 2 manufacturers authorized software on the program at this point. When is I know you're recognizing a fall release, but you've got 16 more to go.
Right.
When would you expect to have the vast majority of those actually on the system?
Yeah, we have a lot in the, and I probably mentioned this to you then as well, I'm not sure, but we do have a lot in the works as far as additional manufacturers. We just don't have the schedule developed yet. That's actually a common question. I know I need to work on that. I don't have that just yet, but we are working on more for sure.
Drew, I
Are we on time?
have one more question for you. The OEs, obviously they have frequent updates.
Yes.
With this date. How quickly do you guys get those updates?
The updates are released automatically by the OEM. So
Directly to you?
no, directly to the aftermarket.
Okay, yeah.
So the OEMs release their, their calibration updates or patches, whatever you want to call it. I like to say it's like your PC when you turn your computer at home. You get the little Windows pop up that says, hey, updates are available and whatever. So you do those updates because you trust Microsoft or whoever is going to make fixes and updates. The manufacturers do the same thing. You just don't get that convenient Windows pop up, on your heads-up display on your car. But there's updates being released all the time. There's actually one manufacturer, and this is a fact, on the programming side. There's one manufacturer that actually programs 1 million vehicles per month, every month. 1 million. One manufacturer. I mean, you can probably deduce and figure out who that manufacturer is, but 1 million programs a month. So there's a lot of opportunity out there. And those are for, potentially recalls or just simply updates or parts replacements, that sort of thing.
So I'm still not clear. So if I'm at the shop level and I plug your tool in and I call your number,
Mm-hmm.
that software, that updated software, let's say ABC OEM updated their software, you have access to the most recent updates?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Always the latest and greatest, and you can't go back. If you update it, it moves forward, but not backwards. One more question or two. Keep an eye on the time for you. Yes.
So, you connect that to the OBD2 plug.
Yep.
Does that come with connectors for the DCL, or the DLC?
That is the DLC connector.
Well, a lot of manufacturers now have like a 9-pin or a 30-pin or 28-pin.
That's for like medium duty vehicles, which is a different kind of world. Oh wait, are you talking about BMW? BMW has a different cable set, which we do supply also.
Oh, Honda does
Not
as
with
well.
this, but Honda
Okay.
does also. Maybe not from 96 forward.
So the bottom line is that only
Yeah.
collects the OBD, there's no additional connectors like we go plug into the modules directly or to the DLC?
Yeah, not directly.
Okay, that's what I mean.
Yeah. Not directly to the module itself. Yeah. Actually, off-board programming, bench programming is kind of going away. When you do a programming event in today's vehicles with the CAN network, a lot of times that programming event needs to talk to other modules on the vehicle as well.
So what you're saying to me, you can program that CAN module through that unit?
No, CAN is a protocol. It's not a module.
Okay.
One more. All right. Well, thanks for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you,
All right.
Glenn.
Thank you.